she mocked a single dad, Intern. Unaware he was the heir to the company, the coffee cup shattered across the polished conference table as every employee froze in silence. The senior executive's furious voice echoed through the office, while a young single father stood motionless, holding a serving tray with trembling hands. His internship badge hung from his wrinkled shirt, making him look like the easiest person to blame. The room filled with mocking whispers. Armin hesitated, and no one realized that the quiet man they were humiliating was the rightful heir to the billion-dollar company they all worked for. Before we continue, if you believe kindness always matters and everyone deserves a second chance, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to CEO Secret Story. Your support helps us share more emotional stories that remind the world compassion is never wasted. Ethan Carter had never wanted anyone to know who he really was. After losing his wife to a sudden illness 3 years earlier, his entire world became his 6-year-old daughter, Lily. Although he had inherited the legal rights to his grandfather's business empire, Ethan refused to enter the company as an executive. He believed that leadership could never be understood from a luxurious office. Instead, he secretly joined the company as an intern, under a different last name, determined to experience every challenge ordinary employees faced. Every morning he prepared Lily for school before rushing across town to work, often arriving exhausted after sleepless nights spent comforting his daughter through nightmares about losing her mother. Most people simply ignored Ethan, but Vanessa Brooks, the company's demanding operations director, made him the target of constant humiliation. She believed interns existed only to serve executives. Every tiny mistake became another opportunity to embarrass him in front of everyone. She mocked his worn shoes, criticized his quiet personality, and even laughed at the homemade lunches he packed because he could not bear wasting money that could instead provide a better future for Lily. Ethan accepted every insult without responding. He had promised himself that dignity was more powerful than pride. The breaking point came during an important executive presentation. After spending hours preparing refreshments while finishing reports assigned far beyond an intern's responsibilities, Ethan accidentally lost his balance when another employee hurried past him. Coffee splashed across the conference table. Before he could apologize, Vanessa exploded with anger, pointing at him while dozens of coworkers watched in uncomfortable silence. She called him careless, incompetent, and claimed someone like him would never belong in a company filled with successful professionals. Ethan quietly cleaned the mess, refusing to defend himself while secretly wondering how many struggling employees had suffered similar humiliation before him. That evening, Ethan picked up Lily from school. She noticed the stain on his shirt and gently hugged him without asking questions. As they walked home holding hands, she smiled and reminded him that her mother always said, "Good people never lose by choosing kindness." Those innocent words stayed in Ethan's heart through the night. The following morning, the company's founder, 82-year-old William Carter, unexpectedly arrived at headquarters. Employees rarely sought him because of his declining health. The atmosphere immediately changed as every executive gathered to welcome him. Then William slowly walked past everyone and stopped directly in front of Ethan. With tears filling his eyes, the elderly founder embraced the confused intern before announcing that Ethan was not only his grandson, but also the future owner and chairman of the entire corporation. Silence swept through the building. Vanessa's face turned pale as the truth unfolded. William explained that Ethan had volunteered to work anonymously because he wanted to understand how employees were treated before accepting leadership. Unfortunately, what he witnessed had deeply disappointed him. The problem had never been productivity. It had been the absence of humanity. Vanessa expected immediate dismissal, but Ethan surprised everyone. Instead of seeking revenge, He requested that she remain with the company under one condition. Every manager would complete empathy and leadership training, spend 1 week each year working entry-level positions, and be evaluated, not only by profits, but also by how respectfully they treated every employee. Ethan believed punishment could create fear, but compassion could create lasting change. Over the following months, the company transformed completely. Employee satisfaction reached record levels. People felt valued instead of invisible. Vanessa gradually became one of the strongest supporters of Ethan's new culture. She privately apologized for judging someone whose greatest achievement was quietly raising a little girl while carrying responsibilities no one else could see. Before the ending, we have one special request. Tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were in Ethan's place? Forgive or seek revenge? Years later, employees often remembered that spilled cup of coffee as the moment that changed the company's future forever. It reminded everyone that titles never define a person's worth, and the kindest hearts are often hidden behind the simplest clothes. Ethan never wanted people to remember him as the heir to a fortune. He wanted them to remember that true leadership begins with respect, humility, and compassion for those who have the least power. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with your friends and family, leave your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to CEO Secret Story. Your support helps us continue sharing emotional stories that inspire kindness, hope, and second chances around the world.